Hi everyone, I'm Nicola from Elimee Designs and welcome to episode 7 of our video blog. As you can see, a few things have changed since our last episode. I have given birth and I have a gorgeous little girl strapped to my chest right now, but I'll talk a bit more about that later. As you can imagine, in the last month I haven't done as much crocheting as I would have planned to do. I would say as I would have liked to do, but you can't give up all the little snuggly baby cuddles. And it's not as easy as it looks to crochet whilst holding on to a baby. So I managed to do a load of crocheting up until Christmas. Over the Christmas period I put everything on hold just to really concentrate on spending time with the family. And then this one popped up and it took me about 2 weeks after she was born to be able to even pick up a hook, just because I was so exhausted. So there's not too much to show you today, so it'll be a nice quick episode for you, but hopefully what I do have to show you you'll find interesting. So to kick us off, I've got a project that I think I might have mentioned before, that I made for my excuse me, for my eldest daughter for Christmas. And here it is. So I'm not going to be able to see exactly what I'm showing you. There we go. So this is the Aphrodite cushion cover, and I decided that my daughter would like one of these. She's a very big fan of pink, and I allowed her to pick out the yarn herself, although she didn't know what it was for. She did know it was for her, but she didn't know what I was making her, and she knew it was going to be a Christmas present. So this is Starcraft Special Aran in pale rose and cream, and I've got some wooden buttons on the back that I just had in my stash. I think I just ordered those off Amazon many moons ago for a different project, never used them, and so decided to use them this time. Now, much to my surprise, because she got quite a few handmade gifts this year, that cushion has been her favourite. It has lived up in her top bunk. I had to borrow it today just to show you guys. Ever since she got it. The day that she got it, she was cuddling it, she was sitting on it. When she was sat eating her Christmas dinner, she wanted to sit on her special cushion. So I'm just absolutely in awe of how much love it's getting from her. I wasn't expecting it to go down as well as it has. I did also make her, as you'll have seen in previous episodes, one of our festive higgy blankets, which again is in her bed but doesn't quite get as much love as this one does because it stays in the bed during the day, whereas the cushion can travel around the house with her. She also got an ear warmer, she got a new scarf. She's worn them, but she's no more thrilled with those than any of the others that I've made. So I was really happy with this cushion cover. Now, the biggest compliment I've had with regards to this is that so my mum and my stepdad came to hang out with us on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, just in case I went into labour, to make sure that I'd have some childcare available. My mum saw the cushion. She didn't get to see them open their presents, but came later in the day. She saw the cushion and asked if I had made it. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, you like it? And she's like, yeah, I do. And unbeknownst to her, I did tell her the original Aphrodite cushion cover that I made, which you'll see on the pattern file, which is a duck egg blue, was destined for my mother for Mother's Day last year. However, I took it upstairs to the girls' room to take some nice pictures of it to include in the pattern, and they wouldn't let me have it back. So there are now 2 cushions that live in their room, just in different colours, but it meant that my mum got something completely different for Mother's Day. She has, however, requested one of these cushions for Mother's Day this year, although she'd like it in grey rather than duck egg blue. And I kid you not, I was absolutely floored when she asked me. Now, I've been crafting for a reasonable number of years. Most of my friends and family have had at least one handmade gift from me at some point. My mother, being my mother, has had quite a few. And as she has called herself, so she is self-confessed that she is a snob when it comes to things that she likes to buy, where she likes to buy from. And to date, I didn't feel that any of my handmade gifts went down particularly well, so I kind of stopped making them for her. She didn't get anything handmade this Christmas or last Christmas, I don't think. So I was really taken aback when she asked for one of these for Mother's Day. I thought it was a huge compliment coming from her, that she thought it was good enough to have centre stage on her sofa. So I shall be buying the yarn for that shortly, and I'm sure I'll show you my progress, fingers crossed, in time for Mother's Day. You know what we crafters are like with too many whips. But yeah, so moving on to my only other finished object. is the teeny tiny baby hat. So I think I showed you last time I had this hat bit, the main body of the hat finished, in terms of it was a big rectangle, but I hadn't formed it into a circle yet, and I hadn't added a pom-pom. I did get the opinion of a few friends as to whether or not to match it in the purple or contrast it in the white, and they all agreed to contrast it, so it has a little white bobble on it. So the hat itself is made from Starcraft Highland Heathers in the colour Thistle, and I am seriously in love with this colour of purple. As you might have already seen on social media, I also have a cowl and a hat, a cowl and an ear warmer for myself in this same colour, and I do still have some left, so I'm going to make something else. And this pom-pom is made from Starcraft Special DK in white. However, I don't know if you can see the top of her head just here. It doesn't fit. It didn't fit when she was born, and it doesn't fit now. It's too small. I purposefully made one that was stretchy, and it still doesn't fit. So the pattern that I took the measurements from is obviously a little bit off for average size babies, because she wasn't enormous, she wasn't tiny. But I was just very disappointed because when I had my eldest, I wasn't crocheting yet, so she got a hospital hat. With my second, I was crocheting. I made 3 different patterns, 3 newborn sized hats, and they were all too small. And this one's too small. So none of my girls have come home in a homemade hat by me. They've all come home with the hospital hats, which are absolutely lovely, and I really appreciate all the people who take the time to knit and crochet and donate to the local hospitals. But I wanted her to have something that was made by mummy. So yeah, a little bit disappointed, but I am going to make her another one in a bigger size for when the weather turns cold again in the winter. Probably won't have time to do it at the moment, and she's got her hospital hat that fits. So yeah, if you have a tried and tested pattern for kiddies, babies, hats, so that I can get it right this time, please drop it in the comments below, because I would really like to get it to fit this time. Okay, so the next thing is work in progress still. Yes, I'm a bad mummy. I did not manage to finish this before she was born. So this is my only knitting project that is on the go at the moment. And as you'll have seen before, just to turn the pattern the right way out, I'm making this plain cardigan here by Mercia. So one of the lovely ladies at one of my crochet groups gave me this pattern to try, knowing that I was a complete beginner, said, yeah, it's not too difficult, you know, give that one a go. And I have made progress, so I did manage to do some more, but it's not finished. So it's still in bits. I'm on the second sleeve now. So this is obviously the ribbing that's going to go at the bottom of the sleeve once it's joined in a loop. And then the first kind of section, I've started doing sort of the increases and decreases and things, and it'll be raglan fitted at the sleeves. But yeah, that sleeve, I think it's got like another 30 odd rows left to go. And then I can join it onto all of the other pieces. Oh, she says dropping them up, excuse me. So I've got obviously the big back piece here with the ribbing at the bottom. I've got 2 front pieces with the raglan decreases at the top. And then I think that's the other one. And then this last bit that's in here. Oh, one of these is a sleeve. No, I think the one I just showed you might be the sleeve. And then I've got the left and the right front panels for the cardigan. And then I just have to join it all together and add the ribbing sort of around the collar kind of area and the button band. So I will get there. It's just a question of whether it's still going to fit her when I finish. This is a problem I seem to have a lot when I get distracted by my many other whips and therefore don't finish the one that I'm working on. This cardigan was one of my priorities before Christmas, but I prioritised even higher Christmas presents for the kids and for my husband to finish them before Christmas, because I knew obviously they would be there Christmas Day. This one, I didn't know when she was going to turn up, so I thought I'd have a bit more time than I did. So yeah, bad mummy. So I made this one using, let's grab the label, the Baby Shimmer DK by JC Brett in shade BS9. You know, we all know how I feel about yarns that don't have nice names for the colours. I don't like all of the silly alphanumerics. It's got to have cute names, like the thistle yarn. I thought that was adorable. Okay, so just shove that back in its bag. The only other whip that I have managed to make any progress on is my husband's socks. So I think I remember last time I showed you the yarn, because that was a whole palaver trying to get hold of the one that my daughters had selected. And I had planned to make him some socks for Christmas. In his stocking, I did put the whip in the whip bag just so that he could see that he was getting something handmade from me, apart from the scarf I did. I had one finished sock and one sock that was not so finished. I have made some progress since then, and I am on the home straight. So he will get it, she says, before the end of the month. But let me just pull this the right way so you'll be able to see it. So this is the first sock. Sorry, I haven't woven in my ends on this first sock yet. And I haven't put it on a sock blocker because I don't have a sock blocker for his size of feet. But that is the first sock. Sorry, it's a bit crumpled because it's been in my whip bag. So this is the Yarnspirations Crochet pattern socks. In the largest size. I did have to size up the hook slightly just so that it would fit over his ankle. And this colourway here, which is absolutely stunning if you ask me, is the West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply in the colour Silent Night. So I think my girls probably picked it. I don't know if you can tell very well because it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. No, you probably can't see that very well in the light, but it does have some sparkle, I promise. My second sock, which is so close to being finished, hasn't got the last bit on it yet because this is as far as I got yesterday. And I need to attach the next ball of yarn. Literally, I'm only a few rows away from the toe decreases, so very, very close to finished. I hope that these fit as well as the first pair, because although I've done the same number of rows and things that I calculated with his first pair, which was with the Funny Feets yarn, obviously it is a different brand of yarn, and you never know if it's going to quite work up exactly the same in terms of gauge. And I was very naughty and didn't check my gauge. I just kind of went with it because I was in a hurry before Christmas. I didn't have a lot of time. I wanted them to be finished for Christmas, and even though I failed miserably. He will forgive me. He's very good like that. I mean, if you were here for, I think it was episode 1, you'll have heard the story of his last pair of socks and how they were promised for Christmas and they weren't even started by Christmas. So he didn't get them until way, way after Christmas. He's quite happy, compared to the children, obviously, of coming bottom of the current whip pile, knowing that he will get it eventually, but wanting obviously the kids to be the priority, which is really sweet of him. So a few things that I was given over Christmas that I wanted to share with you. So the first is this lovely yarn mug from my friend Sun. So I don't know how well that's coming up that you can read, but it says crocheter, one-armed hooker, and there's a little hole that goes through the handle here that you can actually rest your crochet hook in when you're drinking. I don't know where she got it from, because obviously it was a gift, but it's already been used. I do like a good hot chocolate. But yeah, that was really sweet of her. Usually we don't buy for each other, we just buy for the children. So I was bowled over to have got a present from her this year. And the next ones are from my mum. So she's the one who bought me all of that lovely sock yarn in Germany when I showed you. And this time she has bought me some really cute stitch markers from a company called Atomic Knitting. I'll pop the link down below, but their website is on these little cards. So this one has got a load of little owls in it. I don't know how well you can see those with the plastic shining on it. And although it's back to front in the packet because I haven't opened it yet, there is a little tree on the back, which I imagine is to kind of symbolise where the owls are living. And then she brought me 2 packets of this one, which are like little birds. So they're really cute as well. So hopefully these will wind their way onto some of my projects in the very near future. Okay, so that is everything that I have been working on in the last month. As I said, not very much, very short episode. I will be, probably in the next week, releasing my Make 9 for 2023 board on Instagram. So I did join in with, I think it was ran by Noble Character Crafts. their Make 9 Mal last year, and I'm planning to join again for this year. So last year I joined partway through the year and I managed to finish 7 out of the 9 projects that I had picked, which I was really happy with. And she's quite relaxed with the rules, so you didn't have to be starting from scratch. They could be whips that you were going to finish. Some of them I just had the yarn and had no idea what I was going to make with it. I just knew I wanted to make something. So I'm going to join again this year. The baby cardigan is definitely going to be on my board this year because I really must finish it ASAP and hope that she still fits in it. But yeah, so you'll see all the other things that I've decided I want to definitely crack on with this year. So yeah, the only other thing to talk about is this little wee madam here. So for those of you who don't know, I have 3 children now and they are all little girls. They are just adorable. I mean, I'm their mum, so I'm gonna think so, but yeah. So she decided that she wasn't in any hurry to arrive, so she was due before Christmas and didn't arrive until after Christmas, so she was a week late, and that was because the hospital doctors decided to get things moving because she was being a little bit of a pickle and wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. So we thought that she would be safer out than in, so they got me going. The labour was the shortest I've had, less than 5 hours, very intense. But we were home within 24 hours and she's been doing really well since. I'll add a little clip to the end of the video, or at least a photo, so you can actually see what she looks like, because at the minute she's sleeping and bundled up in the sling. So that you can say hello to her. And I'm sure if she's anything like her oldest sister, that she'll be inspiring many a design in the future. I mean, the Aphrodite cushion cover was based on one of my daughter's doodlings, which then became the Aphrodite corner to corner blanket with the same design. And I even have a pattern I would like to try and do this summer, fingers crossed, and entirely dependent on how well this one behaves, which was based on another one of her doodlings. So if they're as creative as each other, then she will definitely get to help me out in the future. So I'm not going to prolong things and drag this out because I know that you've got lots of other things to be doing today. Hopefully including lots of crochet time. Sit back and relax with that nice cup of hot chocolate in the cold, a blanket across your lap and a project in your hands. So yeah, until next month, happy crocheting.